Hey, this is Russ. Time for the year and a half update. Yeah, 18 months have gone by now since my knee replacement, September 19th, 2019. So, how am I doing? Well, you probably already know if you watched Friday's video from last week and then this week's Monday's video. I kind of gave you some hints of what's been going on. But to recap some of that a little bit here for those who didn't see it, and I'll put a link up there for you to see those videos. Yeah, I still have clicking in my knee. I do know that. I still feel it every day when I'm walking around. Okay, I don't walk very quickly. I still use my cane going up and down the stairs, but I am walking more without the cane now. Going to the grocery stores and things like that, I don't use the cane unless it's been snowing. But and we had some snow this past week, so I went back to the cane. But today I went to the grocery store and I didn't use the cane. So, anyways, I still feel some stinging right underneath my kneecap. All right, that seems to be kind of common. I think some people have mentioned that they feel that as well. So those are the physical issues. So how am I doing for flexion and extension? Okay, I know you've been all waiting to hear this one. So I did a quick measurement, and I did not exercise or anything before I did this measurement. I didn't use the jazz unit. I didn't do anything. I just said, okay, time to measure it. So just like I typically have done in the past, all right, I just sat on my recumbent bike and then leaned in as much as I can get that knee to bend, all right. So the reason I do this is because it is the tallest chair I have that allows me to do this bending, okay. So if you take a look at the photo, you can see I am at 120 degrees. Now, you might say, can you pull back yourself at 120? And the answer is probably not. But I'm not pushing real hard on my knee here to get this 120. That's not like I'm screaming in pain like I do at physical therapy. All right. So I'm going to call it 120. Yeah. And I have been using the jazz unit less and less now. I've gone to once per day at about 24 minutes per day, something like that. And some days I don't even use it at all. And I think going forward for this next week, I'm going to try to use it every other day, once per day. All right. So I think it's staying at where it should be. The key, though, is when I finally stop using the jazz unit, which it might be the week after, I'm just going to let it do my own thing and keep checking to see, am I still at the 120 level? All right. So I'm not reverting back. That's a good thing. It's pretty easy to hit this 120 now. And what about extension? Well, let me put it this way. I didn't get a chance to measure it like I did last time. My daughter measured it for me last time, and she was measuring 5, okay? I feel it's better than that, but I can't guarantee it because I haven't really technically measured it. Now, you're talking 5 degrees. It's so minute to be, did I get the 2 degree? I mean, come on, you're talking such a small degree that it's hard to actually know if you're even measuring it 100% right. But let me tell you about the feel. It feels better than it did when I originally said it's 5 degrees, all right? When I look at my knees, I usually look at my knees when I'm in the shower, okay? I'll push it out as best I can and look down, and it doesn't look like the other knee, all right? I think that might even hyperextend. Who knows? I don't know. But it's better than it was. So I'm going to say we're less than 5 degrees right now. I can just feel it, even though it's not technically measured. I can feel it was better now than it was when I told you guys I hit 5 degrees. So, yeah, thanks again to Jazz for getting me started on this. And again, I keep doing my extension exercises by just putting my leg up on the table and then, keeping it extended that way. I constantly am doing an extension and then easing off, and then another extension and easing off. I do this all day long. My goal is to try to get that thing below the 5 degrees, and I think we've done it. I just can't confirm it. All right. Is it 0 degrees? No, I don't think so, because I can see it. But then, my left knee always seems a little bit more puffier than the right knee. And let me show you the knee comparisons again so we can see it ourselves here, okay? So now if you look at this was last month's knee, and we all kind of said that it seemed less swollen than the previous month's knee. I'm not going to show you that one. It was. And so if you look at the two knees now, they look pretty much the same. Now, Some may look at the knee from this month and say, "Oh, it looks bigger." Well, it's just angles, and it's just how big the photo was taken, that type of thing. But really, it's exactly the same thing. Okay, so the left knee that is operated on, it's just a bigger knee. I mean, if you look at the right knee, when you look at the kneecap and everything, there's more shape to it. Okay, so there's no way for me to actually say, just by looking at it, if it is, at 0 degrees or it isn't. Even if it was at 0, I think it would still look like the way it is. So it's just the way it is. Now, the darkening I mentioned before on the scar is, and I did put lotion on this photo again. It was about a half hour again beforehand. And then I took the shot. And you'll notice there's 2 types of darkening. All right, let's talk about the scar itself. Okay, not the whole knee. Let's take a look at the scar itself. And you can see that there's darkening. And I think that's just blood inside the scar that's just not going to go away. And I think at this point, I'm pretty much determined that it's probably going to be part of it all the time. It hasn't changed much ever since I got, this whole knee replacement. I think it's there to stay. So unfortunately, unlike some of you guys who have very clear looking scars, mine has like that darkening blood effect underneath it. Okay, I think it's going to be that way. Whatever. But the scar itself feels good. It's not bumpy or anything like that. Everything feels real good about it. Now, let me address another thing about this darkening. Now, if you look at my entire left knee, okay, even some of my right knee, you'll see it. The whole area seems darker. And people have asked, why is your whole knee dark? Okay, it's just my knee. But really, it is lighting. Okay. Now, the lighting that I do, I just go into the bathroom and I stand there and I take the shot. I use the lighting that's right above the mirror of your wash basin. Okay, so you're talking a light that's probably, I don't know what it would be, about 6.5 feet, 7 feet above me. Not above me, but 6.5 feet from the ground. So it's actually above me. Okay, and that's projecting onto a knee that's below. All right, so there's shadows involved, and that's going to cause that effect. Now, if I used a flash on the knee, what would that thing look like? You wouldn't see the shadows. All right, so it wouldn't look as dark as it does. But if you look at the entire knee as a whole, if you just look at the whole knee right there, that whole section there seems like it's darker. Okay, that's only from lighting. All right, so and the reason I leave that there is because lighting from above there shows contours and stuff that you would never be able to see if the light source was directly facing that. Okay, it's a little bit of photography. Remember too, I am a forensic photography expert in court. All right, and I do have some knowledge of photography. I've taught photography for years. Okay, and I've been a professional photographer for over 30 plus years, so I know what I'm talking about. All right. And even when we do evidence photos, because you know that I have a background in evidence photography and evidence collection, when we do certain things, you're using oblique lighting will show certain shadows and details that, straight on lighting would just wash out. So if I use straight on lighting, you wouldn't see this knee as dark as it looks. All right. But I want to see the curves and all the things that are around the knee. And so I use oblique lighting, and I'm not doing anything special. I'm just using the lighting that's right above the sink above me, in front of me, okay? So that explains why my knees always look a little darker than maybe you're used to seeing, because maybe other people don't shoot it the way I shoot it. Maybe they're using a flash. Sometimes they have lighting directly facing them. But mine's is way up there, okay? So that's the explanation for that. Doesn't excuse why the knee has that bloodline look. All right. So that's where we are for that. Okay. So what about the rest of everything? Overall, I am walking better. I am straighter in my knee. I still feel it when I walk. I am able to stand up and walk right away, but I hobble a little bit to start, because it takes time for it to kind of get used to it, and then after a few steps, I'm walking better. So overall, I'm saying I'm better, but I'm not moving fast. I'm still moving fairly slowly. If you ask me to run, that's never going to happen. Okay. If you ask me catch up to us, I'm going to be behind you because I can't move that quickly. I do feel like I cannot do certain things that I used to do. That I used to do a lot of Taekwondo, and that's what really kind of messed up my knees and the like. It gained me a lot of weight because of that too, for just being, sitting around, not exercising, not doing things that I should be doing. And so my flexibility is still kind of there. I mean, if I worked it a little bit, would I be able to kick over your head? Maybe. Yeah, the flexibility is still there, but the knee strength isn't there. Here's an interesting thing, though, that I've noticed. When you put your pants on, right, you got to lift up one leg to get the other leg through the pants leg. I could stand on one leg. Yeah, I could stand on my left knee, my left leg with the bad knee and balance myself when I'm pulling my pants over me. So the balance is still there. Okay. I would never do that, when I first got my knee replaced, obviously. But yeah, I've done that for quite a long time. I've never mentioned that before, but it just kind of dawned on me earlier that was something that I'm able to do now that I wasn't able to do, when I first got the knee replacement. So anyways, overall, I would say I'm doing fairly well. Would I still recommend it to somebody else? I would say if you need to get it done, do it. Okay. If you can hold off, I would recommend you hold off, right? I know I have another one to do down the road. So was it worth it? Probably worth it, only because I know that this knee eventually would just get worse and worse. So yeah, it's probably worth it doing. Am I better now than I had been before I got it? And the answer is still no, because I was still able to walk better before I had this knee replacement. But I do know that if I didn't do this knee replacement, eventually my walking would be worse, because then the bone-on-bone would be worse. But I'm not like everyone else where the bone-on-bone was something that started me to the point where I had to do it because it was hurting so bad. I was never at that level. So this is probably why I can't immediately say it was worth it. Had I been to the point of bone-on-bone being so bad and so hurtful, then I would say, yeah, it was worth it, because I don't feel anything now other than, it's a little stiffer when I'm walking and things like that. Okay. So this is why I can't really say it was worth it. But if I'm like many of you who, you're in pain constantly, I don't have that. So then if I was like that, I would say it was worth it. Okay. So realistically speaking, I will never be able to say it was worth it, because I don't have that same level that you guys had. But I'm not in pain anymore, other than the stiffness and things like that. I'm not like screaming in pain or anything like that. So in that sense, I would say I'm fairly well healed up, but I'm just not moving fast enough because it's still stiff and everything. So I still have some issues. So we'll keep tracking everything. I'm not perfect yet, but at least I can say that I'm not hurting, not to that level. I get that stinging, okay, but that's not hurting. Hurting is a different story. And when people say that they're able to handle high amounts of pain level, they don't know pain until they do a knee replacement, because I think that's probably the worst pain you can get. I can't imagine anything else. People say, oh, kidney stone. Well, I had that. That's nothing compared to the knee replacement, okay? The knee replacement hurts a lot more, and it lasts a lot longer. I mean, you're talking a year and a half, and I'm still dealing with it. So that's all I have to say for you guys today. Hopefully you liked the video. Hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit them all. And I will talk to you guys next time.